you have any ideas? I said, well, if she has nothing to do, come over and send her over. And 3 years later, started off with a couple hours, and now she's full-time, 4 days a week, and she has her own gigs going. So she's really made an impact on our practice, and I really would like to personally thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our team, I want to thank the doctors, my team members, Chris Gaffarpour, Nidhi Prakash, and Yvonne Chu. I want to make a special welcome back to Chris. I know we had a little meeting here. We had a little champagne toast a while ago, two sessions ago. But for those of you who were here last year and remember, I told you that he was under treatment, and of course you can see him standing tall and doing well. And we're really happy to have him back. His voice is back, so he's going to give his best to project as best as he can. But having him back in the practice is a blessing, because as we go through this process of learning from each other, constantly on a daily basis, practicing with somebody else, it's a nice thing. And to be able to run your cases by and give the cases that you don't really want to handle to Dr. Gaffarpour, it's a nice thing to have in your back pocket. So thank you very much for all your support. Welcome back, my brother. To Nidhi Prakash and Yvonne Chu, guys, thank you for supporting the changes that go through the office. We went through a big change in the office. We built a new facility about 3 miles away from our practice, and I really couldn't have done it without these guys helping support all the patients and whatnot, and all the input and all the things that you guys do. Continue to do what you guys do, and I appreciate everything. Thank you, guys. Brian Carranza and Lisa Del Oso, thank you guys for the support today. Also, thank you for being such a great part of the team. Appreciate it. To our sponsors, I want to thank Doug Dodd from Dentsply Dental, Ankylos Zyve, as he says on his answering machine, Astra and Zyve. Thank you very much for the sponsorship today. Doug has always been probably the best rep that I've ever had or seen or had the pleasure to work with, because he's always available, always ready for solutions, and just overall good guy. Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to thank Marshall Burkini. Marshall and I started a relationship many years ago on CAD-CAM. Had him over at the office about maybe 10 years ago, and he gave a lecture on the CAD-CAM. He's moved on and opened up his own company, Reveal Diagnostics, which is probably becoming or has become the premier diagnostic facility in the Bay Area at this particular point, in my point of view. Great service, great price point, and that's always a winning combination. Him and I he was coming into the office last year to give us some pointers on how to use in vivo and various softwares from his company. And right at that particular day, the architect and the contractor were in my office, and I had a bright idea. I said, "Hey, Marshall, what would it take for you guys to come down to San Jose?" He said, "Well, I just need a 300 square foot spot and a low rent." And I said, "Well, you know what? Why don't you sit in on this meeting with me?" And that's exactly what happened. He sat in. We decided that we're going to carve out 300 square feet for him. And in September, he's going to open up in South San Jose with us a facility so we can have a closer CT scan, so we don't have to go all the way to Mountain View. Although my patients don't mind driving to Mountain View when I tell them it's a $125 limited field of view scan versus a $400 scan down the street. So they don't seem to mind to go up to Mountain View for that price point, but I think it's going to make it a lot easier. And again, thank you very much for your sponsorship of the program. I'd like to also thank Jim Ewell and Vince Richanu, thank you. Vince Richanu from CareStream. These guys also are sponsors, and I want to thank you guys for putting the time in to put together this presentation. These guys sell top-notch products, and I'd like you guys to get a chance to look at their products, and they will also be presenting today as part of the presentation. So thank you very, very much. And I want to thank all of the lecturers that are volunteering their time today, because we're not really paying them. They're just doing it because A, they love teaching, they want to get to know more doctors, and they're part of my team. And as you guys all know, we can't practice on an island. We have to practice with one another and have teams. And once you develop those teams, your patient flow and communication goes much better. The long and short of it, to put one lecture together, a 50-minute lecture, it takes about 8 to 10 hours of time put in, at least. So thank you very much to each and every one of you for spending the time and donating that time to our group. And I'll introduce everyone individually. And I want to lastly thank all of you guys for attending, for coming on a Saturday to this lecture. This is our second annual, and it looks like it's continuing to grow. Maybe next year, as it continues to grow, we'll get larger facility. We might have outgrown Santa Clara County Dental Society. But let's see if we can keep you guys awake until 4 o'clock. If we see some fading occurring, we're going to whip you guys now. If we see some fading occurring, we'll try to move things along more quickly. We have lunch scheduled from 12 to 1. We have sandwiches from Panera. So, and we'll see if we need to condense and reduce that in order to stay on time, because now I'm 25 minutes behind time. So, without further ado, I want to introduce a good friend of mine, a colleague, and someone I rely heavily on, really, because of her expertise. And I'm very glad she's here in this area, Michelle Johansson. She presented last year, and I want to introduce her by saying that Dr. Michelle Johansson graduated from Columbia University in 88, with her degree, and received her post-grad certification in oral facial pain and dental sleep medicine from UCLA. She is board certified by the American Academy of Oral Facial Pain. Michelle has a particular interest in headache prevention and treats headaches with an integrative approach. In addition to her position as an assistant clinical professor at UC, she maintains a private practice limited to oral facial pain and sleep medicine in the Bay Area and Wellness Center in Los Gatos, and also Stanford, right?
It's no longer UC.
Okay, Stanford now. That's right. Well, with warm welcome, I'd like to introduce Michelle.